What a terrible time for higher education.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I think universities and higher education institutions in general don't do a great job of branding themselves, and we want to change that.
They don't. And
Right?
if there was ever a time to get right about that, it's now, when there's a pressure coming from all angles.
Exactly. Hey everybody, it's Matt Williams and Kelly O'Keefe from Brand Federation, and
Good to see
we're
you.
back with Beer and Brands.
I know, it's finally time to come back.
Kind of fun.
Did you miss us?
Hey, look at them. Look, they're so happy. It was like 6 months since we've been doing this. Lots of changes have happened. Our friend Paul, who is our content manager at Brand Federation, has gone on to take a job in
We
California.
do miss Paul. He's
We
a great
miss
guy.
Paul. But it opened up a space for us to kind of think about how we might do this a little differently. We brought in our friends at Hodges Partnership here in Richmond to help us generate content, think about what we're doing, and now we're back with Beer and Brands kind of Mark II.
Absolutely, and we're excited to be here.
Exactly. So, what we're going to do in this conversation is focus it on one particular topic, and it's a topic that is especially relevant and important right now. We'll talk about that, and the topic is university and higher education branding.
It's also a relevant and important topic to the both of us. Matt is a professor at the College of William and Mary and the Mason School of Business, and is an educator in higher education on marketing and branding. I've spent a lot of my time at the VCU Brand Center. Higher education is in our blood and it's important to us, but it's important to our world. And yet, what a terrible time for higher education.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I think universities and higher education institutions in general don't do a great job of branding themselves, and we want to change that.
They don't.
Right?
And if there was ever a time to get right about that, it's now, when there's a pressure coming from all angles.
Exactly. So, if that's a topic you're interested in, we think there are three things that marketers in a higher education and university context need to do better. First one is what?
The first one is really to ask better questions. You can think of this as research, but everyone does research, and for the most part, they ask simple, basic questions, the same questions they've been asking for years. You're not going to really find the good stuff until you start asking different and interesting questions and really letting the marketplace tell you how to market to them. You know who's great at this is Harvard, and we have the good fortune of having them as one of our clients. And Suzanne Day at the Harvard Medical School, when she looked at how they could improve on their branding and their interrelationship with the broader medical community, which includes scientists and researchers, it includes doctors and other caregivers, and it also includes the general public and science writers and medical writers. She said, well, before we start to think about how we position ourselves to them, let's ask them if this information they're consuming is actually useful to them, if they're getting relevant information, if it's authoritative to them, if it's packaged the way they need it to be packaged. And she conducted some research that we were able to help with to learn that. And she asked very different questions and went about it in an entirely different way than you might normally go into that with, including identifying different personas for different information needs.
Oh, that's cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a fearlessness associated with some of these questions, right? And what I've seen in the universities and higher education institutions I've worked with is they're really good at asking their audience what they want.
Yes.
And the answers they get are the same answers that every other university gets when they ask those same questions. That's why all the university marketing all looks and sounds the same, because they're getting the same answers from the same people. What they don't do is go beyond that question of what do you want and start really looking inside and asking a tough question of how do I give that to them differently? What is it about my university that is unique and ownable and different in the way I serve the needs of my constituents? And if you can answer that question, now you have a differentiating and defendable brand position. And you're not just out there like everybody else saying, I'm going to give you a higher ROI on your education dollar and I'm going to give you great facilities. Everybody knows they want that. The question is, how do you do it differently? And that's a harder question to answer.
It's absolutely a harder question to answer. And, we found a characteristic, and I can't obviously share any specifics of the work for Harvard, but we did find a characteristic that they rated lower on than they thought they might. And when we analyze, and the first instinct is, well, we got to get higher on that characteristic. When we analyzed it, we found, no, you don't need to be higher on that characteristic. Actually, you're lower on that characteristic because you're so high over here at what you are really good at. Let somebody else be good at that other one.
Yep. So, number one, ask better questions. Second thing, once you have the answers to those questions, be bolder in the way you communicate those answers. If I think about boldness, we were lucky enough to work with VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University, here in Richmond, to help them put their brand out in a new light. And Grant Heston and Kevin Best, who are the communications leads at VCU, were really smart and disciplined in realizing that there's something truly unique about VCU among other Virginia universities, right? If you think about the universities in Virginia, there are lots of Ivy-covered bastions of higher education, and they're wonderful schools. They're University of Virginia, William and Mary, all those Ivy walls.
We're blessed with great
We're
schools.
lucky to have them. But VCU is a completely different animal. It's an urban university. It's a research university. It's grittier. It's an access university. So it takes in people who aspire to higher education and has a much greater percentage of their population who are first-generation college students, right? When you walk the streets of Richmond, downtown, you're going to be in VCU and you're going to see people with tattoos and piercings. It's a completely different experience.
That's right. You're more likely to see graffiti on the wall than Ivy.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And VCU embraced it, and they were bold in the way they said, we're different, and here's how we're different, and here's why that's a great experience if it's right for you. And that boldness is serving them incredibly well. So they've done a campaign that's all based on that. This is it, the university. It's a completely different experience from other universities.
They've won almost every award you can win
It's
in
working.
higher education, and they deserve it.
Yep.
They took a chance. They pushed themselves out further. They talked louder than the next guy, and it's reaping great dividends.
Yes. So they asked better questions, and they were bolder in the way they showed the answers to the world. Those are the first two things. What's the third thing?
The third thing is to rally the troops. It's so easy to forget about the people that you already have connected to you and the important role that they play in the communication funnel. Those people who have a vested interest in your success include your faculty. Obviously, they want to see you thrive and they want to see your reputation enhanced. Your staff, same thing. Your board of directors, incredibly influential people from all over the business world and the public policy world. Your donors have literally invested and they want to see a return on investment. And most important of all are your alumni. Your alumni are sitting with a diploma that is like a stock certificate. It can go up and down depending on how well you do. Even though it was a great school when they went, if it sucks now, they've got a problem. If it's great now, they succeed. And they want to see you succeed for that reason. These audiences are powerful influencers. And arguably the most powerful influencers who can spread the word about who you are and why it matters. And we've seen this with clients of ours, like when we work with MIT on their open learning platform, which is arguably the most pioneering open learning platform in the world. They almost pioneered the art of free and open education, worldwide distribution of that education. They didn't just say, let's think about the outside world to communicate with. They started with their faculty, their staff, the people who are already being educated at the university, both through traditional and online means. And by understanding what their information needs were, we were able to spread it better. And we're working in a similar capacity right now with a great college, the University Tec de Monterrey down in Mexico. This organization is extraordinary at delivering traditional education, and they're about to become extraordinary at delivering lifelong learning through an innovative and pioneering hybrid approach that includes online and offline, reaching the biggest audience ever. And you might say, well, they've got to go to that new audience they want to get. But first they started with, no, let's make sure that we're talking to the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of alumni, of staff, of faculty, and then we'll go to the rest of the
Yeah,
world.
there's so many stakeholders. You have to start with those stakeholders. Okay, Kelly, so we have 3 things that we think higher education marketers need to do. Number 1, they need to ask better questions.
Absolutely.
Number 2, they need to be bolder in the way they give the answers to those questions to the world, right? The way they
Yep.
talk about themselves. And number 3, they need to rally the troops and think broadly about the constituents and stakeholders that they have in their university and talk to all of them, engage all of them. And there
Start
are
on
lots
the
of them.
inside.
Start on the inside. I have a fourth. It's like a bonus.
A bonus
Well,
for
think of
our
it as
viewers.
it's
You
a
guys,
bonus.
It's a special day.
That's right. Buy 3, get 1 free. Fundraising and branding are not the same thing. Like fundraising and development are incredibly important activities in any higher education institution, right?
Mhm.
But oftentimes universities will say, well, we'll just let the fundraisers run the brand campaign. It's a completely different set of skills. Fundraising tends to be a sprint and a campaign. We got to make $1 billion, so this campaign's going to run this year.
Right.
Branding is a long-term commitment to carving out a differentiated position in the marketplace. And that takes a long time. It's a completely different set of skills. So what I would suggest to the higher education folks listening is let the fundraisers fund, but make sure you're engaging branding experts to do your branding.
That's really smart, and it's a common mistake in higher education. Yeah, I think that couldn't be more right. And I have to say, if you are in higher education, you've heard this message, you're struggling with enrollment, you're struggling with your brand, and you're working on something where you just want to pick our brains. Don't be shy. Give us a call. Matt and I are available, and I don't mean hire us, although that'd be great too. I mean, give us a call, and we'll be happy to walk you through something to help out. We care about higher ed, and we care about you succeeding. This is a time when we need all of our colleges to thrive.
Yeah, we love talking about this stuff. So thank you for tuning into the second iteration of Beer and Brands.
Beer
the
and Brands
Mark
2.0.
2.0, right? I thought of Mark II because it made me think of Spinal Tap. Remember
that's
Spinal
very
Tap
cool,
Mark
yes.
II? Where they did Jazz Odyssey. Watch the movie.
I do. There's a new one coming out.
Watch the movie. It's amazing, right? So anyway, thank you all for being here for Beer and Brands. We will be back soon with another installment of Beer and Brands. So I'm Matt Williams. This is Kelly O'Keefe from Brand Federation. Thank you.
See you again soon.
We'll see you soon.